What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? This is your boy Food Junkie just coming at you with a little video. You see the title. Have you received the lesson yet? This is, how I like to do. There's a lot of stuff going on in the news right now. The big thing is the whole takeoff death situation. And a lot of people have different opinions about that. A lot of people want to have different opinions about that based on what happened. But my question is, have you received the lesson yet? So, Robert, how you doing, baby? Have you received the lesson yet? And I like to make parallels to what's going on in the real world to what's going on here on YouTube, especially in this little beefing sector, because people seem to not look at themselves, not seem not to be able to look in the mirror and see how what they do contributes to the negative behavior and the bad behaviors that they are exhibiting and experiencing. So I like to try to look inward at myself and see how something that I've done, or how something I contribute to, creates an issue, and try to figure out how I can create a solution for that situation. But it's not about the death of Takeoff. It's about the lessons that we should have gotten from that, and not only does Takeoff, but all these recent hip hop artists. I want to talk to us as a people because we tend to jump on these bandwagons every time there's a death, selling fish plates and T-shirts. You know what I'm saying? And rah rah rah. But then a week later, we go back to the same things that we did to lead to us selling fish plates and T-shirts. And now we're looking at how we can stop doing that. And y'all think this is new? This isn't new. It's been happening. It's been going down. It's always been going down. See, the hip hop artist today is nothing like the hip hop artists that I grew up listening to. Because remember back in the days, it was called gangster rap. Everyone wanted to be a gangster. Everyone wanted to talk about the street and put off on the label saying that, oh, well, this is what we experience, this is what we go through. Combining everyone within that experience. And the reality is, even back then, I was like, no, that's not what I experienced. I don't understand what you're talking about because that's not what I do. Now, granted, mind you, I grew up in, like I said, in a low income environment. I grew up surrounded by gang members and things of that nature. A lot of my friends and people that I grew up with were involved in gangs and things of that nature. Some have died, some has been incarcerated. But me personally, Food Junkie, never experienced all that because I made a conscious decision early to be an individual. I made a conscious decision early not to follow the crowd. I made a conscious decision early not to be part of something that is dangerous for me and that will prohibit me from being who I need to be in life. Y'all remember the Ice Cubes, the NWAs, the all the gangster rappers who walked around with these black scullies on, or red bandanas, or blue bandanas, or black bandanas, and dressing all black and had all this negativity in their music? See, you can blame the music if you want to as a cop out. You can blame the artists. You can blame the entertainer. You can blame all those people if you want to. But to me, that's a cop out because you as an individual has to make a conscious decision. Am I saying that you don't have to be responsible as an artist? You do because you are influential. But just like as an artist, you have to be responsible. As a content creator, you have to be responsible. You could turn on YouTube right now in this sector and hear people talking about stuff that doesn't propel them forward, trying to justify and clarify their points, trying to make sure that they are, you know what I'm saying, looking like they haven't done anything wrong or don't do anything wrong. That's the problem. Too few of us don't want to look inward. What's up, Sharon, baby? How you doing, baby? Too few of us don't want to look inward. Too few of us don't want to look at how we have contributed to the situation. Just like we promote this rah bullshit shishkumba here on this YouTube, in the real world, it has been glamorized. The gangster, the hood, staying down with who you grew up with. All that has been glamorized. And we act like we don't understand what's going to happen with that. When you have reached a certain level mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, educational wise, you need to change your environment. You need to change how you move. You need to change who you choose to associate yourself with. We're so used to or so afraid of being called a sellout. We're so afraid of being called someone who left people behind. At times, in order to save yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, you have to leave people behind. If they're not willing to change and elevate with you or on the path that you want to be on, you have to leave them behind. I don't care if it's family, I don't care if it's blood, I don't care if it's siblings, I don't care if it's whoever. If people aren't willing to change their mindsets, if people aren't willing to change their environment, things of that nature, you need to save yourself. That's why I said I love everybody. That's why I can love everyone. That's why I don't have to be nasty and screaming and yelling and cussing and fussing at people while it's not. Because I love myself enough to know that at times I'm going to be by myself. I love myself enough to know that I need to save myself. People that are gonna like it, people think that I'm being nasty and ugly and mean. But the reality is, I really don't give two shakes of a rat's tail, because guess what? No one is gonna do for me what I can do for myself. No one's going to save me the way I need to save myself. And doing for self makes you appreciate it and value it more. When I talk about the begging that goes on here, it is about the begging, because I mean that's crazy. But the whole message I'm saying is, how can you appreciate it, respect it, if you haven't done it for yourself, if you haven't earned it for yourself? Exactly, Shan. You can definitely kill yourself by trying to save somebody else or not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand that mindset. But like, I've been watching people in this sector who have done the most vile shit, who said the most vile shit, trying to be introspective about what happened with Takeoff. You have a choice of what you do, who you hang out with, what environment that you put yourself in. You have a choice. Just like here on YouTube, you have a choice to where you go, what you choose to participate in, what panels you choose to jump up on, to yell and scream and to cuss and fuss just to be heard, just to be part of the crowd, because right now they have all the numbers. That's a choice that you make. You have a choice to go to a bowling alley to have a dice game. You have a choice to carry a gun with you because you can't throw these hands. All those are choices that we make every day. You have a choice to listen to the type of music that you say shouldn't be out there because it is a detriment to the community. You have a choice. But you also have a choice to listen to a Kendrick Lamar. You also have a choice to listen to a J. Cole. You also have a choice to listen to all these other hip hop artists who don't talk about the degradation and the downfall of the black community. If that's what you truly want to listen to, if that's what you truly want to hear. You have a choice not to follow the ratchet ones here on YouTube. That's a choice that you make. You make a choice to do that, and then you want to complain about it. Oh, why is it this and why is it that? Why are we killing each other? You kill or you destroy based on proximity. You build, kill, and destroy based on proximity, which means what you're close to, what's around you. That's what you mostly have an issue with. That's what you mostly do your things with. You don't see people coming into a Jewish community or to an Asian community or to a white community, what's not, with the same rah 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 they come into a black community with. Why is that? And the whole thing is, well, Black lives won't matter until we start mattering to ourselves. That little trope is some bullshit. Black Lives Matter started because there is no value on a black life, period. That's killing a black person, degrading a black person is the biggest propaganda, the biggest promotion that has ever been done. I don't want to hear that slavery, black people sold black people. Yes, they did. You destroy what you know. But slavery has always existed in this world since the beginning of civilization. Every time two countries, two tribes, two whatever go to war, the loser of that war has always been subjected to working for the winner of that war. The reason why we choose to talk about slavery in this country as black people, the reason why we say don't forget that, because the brutality in which slavery existed within this country, the stripping of everything for black people, the stripping of the value for your core values, from your core identity, is what slavery did in this country. That leads to how we act, how we interact with each other today. Now that's why we choose to talk about slavery in this country. People want to get mad about the Woman King. Well, they was the one that sold to the Spanish and to the Portuguese and to the English. Yes, because guess what? They also murdered millions of black people, was not. They was at war with these other tribes. That's how it works. Iran and Iran. Iraq, you know what I'm saying? They may have different religious things, but you can't pick one out of the other by looking at them. It happens every day. North Korea, South Korea. It happens every day. But the brutality in which, exactly, Pakistan and India, the brutality in which it happened in this country and was going on for years, and still feeling the ramifications of that, is what we need to be talking about. It happens on a daily basis across the world. But the brutality in which it happened in this country, the stripping of the humanity, that in which it happened within this country, is what we need not to forget. And not realizing that all the things that had happened strips us from the humanity that we have today. That's why you can have people walking by a dead body, taking pictures, posting videos, taking videos. First thing they do is jump on camera saying, I was there, I saw it, opposed to going to the police, giving a statement to the police, saying, oh yeah, I saw Ray Ray pull out this, it was not, that happened. They think it's okay to come on social media, to post videos, to talk on social media with videos, opposed to talking to a detective. You don't value life. You don't care. Just like here on YouTube, you don't care about this conversation right here. You have somebody who's uneducated, uninformed, spewing out wrong information about everything, that will have 500, 600 people in their chat, 1,000 people in their chat. But with someone like myself talking real, trying to put you up on game, now I'm only about a situation where it's not about life, you will have 13 people in the chat because I'm not screaming and yelling at someone else. I'm not acting a fool and talking nonsense. See, our ears has become so accustomed to the bullshit and to the minutia and to the mediocrity of conversation that we don't understand real conversation, real intelligence, real information when it's hitting us dead in our face. We think it's okay to go over somewhere because someone's screaming and yelling and acting a fool and cussing and fussing and having people, you know what I'm saying, talking nonsense and down at each other. But then we're asking, well, why did no one do nothing? Why did no one do nothing when someone put out the gun? Why you still have that same mentality? Because you have that same mentality. You don't understand that the change starts with you. People only give you what you're asking for. See, when I see a sickness, I give you the medicine. You don't like the medicine. The medicine's not going to taste good. The medicine's not going to feel good to you. You want somebody to woo you or coddle you. I don't coddle grown-ass people. When I see that my people are dying from lack of intelligence, lack of understanding, lack of comprehension, lack of the ability to express themselves in a way that can be actually heard, I'm going to give you this medicine right here. I'm going to give you the truth as I see it, as I know it to be. It's not going to be something pretty. It's not going to be something that feels good to you. It's going to hurt a little bit. It's going to make you go, damn, that was real. Damn, that was harsh. But if you get past the harshness of what you may feel or your sensitivity and what you don't want to hear, listen to the message and ask yourself, have we learned the lesson? And the answer is no. Because what happened on Halloween does not affect how you move today, which it should have. How these other men, rappers, female rappers, whoever it is, entertainers move today. Being hard is what is being praised. Why do you think people were supporting Future opposed to supporting Russell Wilson? Russell Wilson is the goody two shoes. Russell Wilson is the nerd, the geek, the dweeb, the person who said he's gonna save himself for his wife. While Future out here having 18 different baby mamas. Oh, he shouldn't try to raise that man's son. Well, if that man's not raising his son, how do we expect that son to be raised? By Sierra? If there's a man who's willing to step into place to support, show the young how to behave, how to conduct themselves, how to, you know what I'm saying, appreciate life and his value, while supporting and loving on his mother, showing him how a man should love his mother, he shouldn't do that because that's not his biological child. He should watch his father sleep around with 18 different women, having 18 different half siblings, and just because he's getting a little check every once in a while, he should not try to create a loving bond with a man who wants to support him, who wants to be there on a daily basis to show him how to act. You want that philandering gangster type to be his example. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Because someone can speak well, because someone can articulate themselves in a way that you can't do, that you don't understand, that you can't comprehend, because you don't have that bandwidth to expand yourself, to try to understand it. No one's speaking any Ebonics or broken English. They're not woo you and try to make you laugh on a daily basis. This is not a comedy show. No one on here is funny like that. We all have funny moments. We all have moments of, you know what I'm saying, where we can tell a joke or crack something up or make someone laugh because we're doubting someone else. That's not funny. That's not comedy. That's not a show. That's contributing to the degradation of the community. Hate to say it, but you know what I'm saying? Sorry, not sorry. At some point, we have to expect more from each other in order for us to get more from each other. People will live up to or down to whatever expectations that you have of them. I learned that when I taught school. I taught kids with the behavior problems. They came to Mr. Junkie's classroom and they was taught something. I'm not your friend. This is not a democracy. You don't have a say. You're here because you can't behave in the regular classroom. You're here because no one has told you no before. You're here because no one made you be a child. I understand you have responsibilities at home that you put you in an adult capacity. You're not an adult here. I understand you have to feed your siblings or take care of your siblings or make sure that your siblings eat and make sure that your siblings are safe at home. I get that. I understand that. But here, your only job is to be a child and to learn. And if you don't learn this here, you're going to learn out there in the real world and you're going to wind up either dead or in jail somewhere. Or, or revisiting the same cycle that you grew up in that you may not want to be in. And after a couple of weeks in my classroom, they act like they have some sense. Because I showed them consistency. I showed them that I care about you as that. It may sound harsh, it may sound rude, it may sound whatever it may be. But I care enough about you to be harsh and rude to you in your eyes. But you rather me do it in this classroom to teach you, to show you how the real world really don't care about you? Because no one cares if you have a learning disability. No one cares if you can't speak well. No one cares if you can't read. No one cares about that. All they know is your behavior. All they know is what you show them. No one cares that you are 12 years old, having to raise 5 kids, get them up for school, clean them up, feed them. No one cares about that in the real world. The real world don't care. All they see is someone who they think don't know how to behave. So therefore, let's discard them. Let's put them away. Same thing here. No one cares about what you're going through in your personal life. Because they're going to something in their personal life. And broken people attract broken people. You have these celebrities who think it's okay to be gangster. Who don't even know what a gangster is if they walked up on them. Thank God I don't look like what I've been through. Thank God I don't carry myself like what I've been through, like what I grew up with. Thank God when I tell people that I grew up in poverty. When I say poverty, poverty. When I grew up in gang infested situations. Those who are about my age understand back in the days when Crips and Bloods was huge. That's when I grew up. Grew up around all Bloods, but hung out with all the Crips. Because that's what my friends were. Thank God I don't look like that. Thank God I don't carry myself like that. Thank God I had the mindset to get out of that mental prison. Because that's what it is. I never wanted to be down with a gang member. If you was in the gang, I hung out with you because you were my friend. We grew up together. But we grew apart when you decided to make those decisions. When you decided to do stuff that jeopardizes my future. We grew apart. I have friends who have been in prison for killing their child. The child was crying, so you kicked the child in the stomach, was not, because you know the child is dead. Because you thought that, you know what I'm saying, you smoking this joint or you doing this, running the street was more important than actually parenting a child. You thought that it was more important for you to look cool here on the street opposed to taking care of your family business. I grew up with people whose moms was on severe drugs. Y'all think the little drug addicts on here is something? No, I'm talking about missing teeth, nappy head, selling pussy on the corner. That's your mama. That's your mama. You selling drugs to your mama. Thank God I don't look like that. Thank God y'all don't know that until I tell you that. Thank God my mentality is not so screwed up from seeing that, from being around that. But I can actually tell the story, get a little choked up about it because it bothers me because we're still, like, they were like family to me growing up, but still understanding that's not. I had to walk away from that. I wanted to get away from that. I needed to get away from that in order for me to be who I am. So whoever I'm going to be, whoever I am, is not going to be tied to that. So when I say sometimes you have to walk away from people, you have to leave people where they are, no matter how much it hurts you, no matter how much it can make you look soft or weak or like a sellout was not, you have to walk away from people in order for you to be who you need to be, your best self. It makes no sense how people don't get that, how people don't understand that. When I say I'm undraggable, was not, y'all think, I mean, it's a cute little song that I sing, was not when I say that ever. It's a cute little phrase, it's a cute little catchphrase. But you can't drag me because you don't know me. You can't drag me, you can't drag me down. I don't give anyone permission to try to control who I am because you don't know where I've been until I tell you. You don't know what I go through, the battles I have fought in order for me to get where I am, to have the mindset that I have, to be able to look at myself and truly enjoy and appreciate where I'm at. Like I always say, I don't have much, but the little bit that I do have, I've worked my ass off to get it. I worked hard to get it. I worked hard to leave the past in the past. Not forgetting the past, but leaving it there, not bringing it with me, not carrying that baggage and those scars with me. So I can truly appreciate and see where I am meant to be. And it doesn't revolve me going back home, hanging out at bowling alleys and shooting dice. Sorry, not sorry. It doesn't involve me looking up my old friends from childhood who's not doing anything with with their lives, who's stuck in the same place they were when I left 20, 30 years ago. And hanging out with them on street corners, drinking out of brown paper bags while it's not, reminiscing about what we used to do, how we used to do it. I told you, people see me now and they see, like, who are you? You have changed so much. I have, but I haven't. I'm still that person that you remember. Because, I still get in that ass if I want to, if I need to. But I just understand now there's a different way. There's a better way. You just need to walk away at times in order for you to save yourself and the people around you. Takeoff was the quiet one, they said. They said. But just because you're quiet don't mean that you're not doing shit because you're still in that environment that you were in. Oh, I'm just a subscriber. I'm just in the chat. But you promoting the bullshit. You're commenting on the bullshit. That's why from the very beginning, when the subscriber said some slick shit to me, they got cussed out. You're no longer a subscriber when you're interjecting your opinions into something. You become content. You become a commentator. You're not just a subscriber. And when was the last time people say, "Oh, well, I'm just a subscriber," because we have all these subscribers jumping on panels, giving their opinion, but yet don't have a channel of their own that they can talk on. They don't got time, but you everywhere else. You're everywhere where the mess is. Have we learned the lessons? Are we getting the lessons? Are we doing better? Are we still stuck where we were? Mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It's more important to prove that what someone said about you isn't true. But yet we all see what we see based on what you show us. Like I said, we don't know for sure what it is, but what we see don't look good. What we see is not uplifting anyone, not uplifting you, have uplifted you. Haven't gotten you out of where you used to be, where you come from. But not all of a sudden, you're this enlightened person. How can you be enlightened when you still struggling? No offense to anyone who's struggling. But enlightenment brings growth. Enlightenment brings a different environment, a different head space, a different mind space. That's what enlightenment does. And Deion Sanders said something, because this happened in Houston, the whole takeoff thing. And Deion Sanders has a team. And he told his team, what just happened cost y'all from leaving this hotel because they're visiting for some type of tournament. What just happened cost y'all from leaving this hotel until further notice. Because this is Deion Sanders' words, not mine. Because who y'all were a year ago is not who y'all are today. And who you're going to be a year from now, is not where you are today. Which means that you are elevating paths. Everyone will say, why don't you go to the hood and take some kids and uplift them? Because you can't if you don't uplift their mind first. If you don't let them know that you are not there anymore. You're not there mentally. You're not there physically. You're not there emotionally anymore. So therefore, sometimes you have to elevate. Who you were a year ago is not who you are today. You're traveling across the country, doing tournaments, doing sports tournaments, being seen by people who can change your life for the better. Financially, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Change your life for the better. So you have to want that change. And that change starts with you staying your tail in this hotel. That change starts with you staying in your room, picking up a book, learning the plays that we need to do, watching video tape of these other teams that we're going to play, watching videotapes of this team to see how we can do better. Doing drills, going to the gym. That's what that entails. Yesterday I was watching something on YouTube about Michael Jordan's son, and we all know it all could be debated that Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player ever out there. That's debatable, what's not, but he's definitely in the top 3, top 5. Depends on how you look at it. If not number 1. He has 2 sons who play basketball. Granted, they didn't have his height. They say they didn't have his talent. One son, they both played ball in college for UCF, the University of Central Florida. One was a walk-on. One, an average like 1.7 points per game, and one was recruited and averaged about 13 point something points a game, was the highest scorer of the team. They both quit the team. And it was said that because they didn't have the drive, the motivation like their father. That could be true. But they also probably got tired of being compared to their father. Not being an individual. Not feeling that they could be an individual. So they had to do something to step outside of the shadow of this man that is seen as or deemed as one of the greatest basketball players ever to hit the court. We need to stop putting these unrealistic expectations on people, the good ones and the bad ones. Allow people to be who they are, as far as if it's not hurting someone, if it's not detrimental to the community, if it's not, you know what I'm saying, what it is. And we see a lot of these celebrity children going to this whole aspect of let me be a gangster, let me be a street person, let me be a hood person. Look at T.I., his son. I don't know his son name. What's his little son name? What's T.I.'s son name? Who is in jail, walking around with guns and stuff. First of all, you're a little dude. You got the little dude syndrome. Your father's a little dude. He has a little dude syndrome. Nothing wrong with little dudes. But you're a small frame, small structure person was not with a big mouth. So you think that you're going to prove your point by walking around with this gun, this whole gangster mentality, this hood rich mentality. You think that you, like, two things can be true at the same time. But at the same time, which two things do you want to be true? Now his son is in jail somewhere. Little dude in jail. That ain't cute. I don't care how hard you are, who you say your father is, or this in the case of me was not. You're going to be tried. A little pretty yellow boy with pink lips in jail. Come on now. I'm just saying, it is what it is. A little pretty boy, a little pretty yellow boy with pink lips in jail. You ain't gonna tell me you ain't gonna be tried. You haven't been tried. Either you're gonna get your shit sucked or you're gonna be sucking somebody's shit. Period. It is what it is. Don't want that for you. Don't wish that on you. But facts are facts, America. It is what it is. We need to start making decisions or supporting decisions that doesn't represent what we don't represent. But when you support decisions, listen to music, idolize things and people who represent a negative image, don't be surprised when them or you get caught up in some bullshit. While I listen to a lot of people on here, I'm not jumping down trying to be friendly to everybody on here. No. I listen to what I need to listen to what's not, take whatever I need to take from what's not, and discard the rest. Move the fuck on. Don't live by it. Listen to the lies. See that you're lying. Laugh at you lying. Laugh at how people believe in your lies. And move on. I don't have to interact with you to watch you. I don't have to drop down and chat just to be seen. Oh, I was there. Huh? I'm not looking for acceptance here on YouTube. I'm not looking for people to like me on YouTube. If I don't have access to you, I don't care like that. That's honest. That's how I am in real life. I've never been a child to idolize a celebrity or an athlete. Never. When Charles Barkley said, who remember this statement back in the days? I told you, y'all know I'm 47. But when Charles Barkley said, because remember the incident when Charles Barkley spit in a bucket and he actually spit on a child. And it was all this craziness that, he spit on children and he don't care, And he said, I'm not a role model. I said, exactly, because you're not mine. You are not a role model. I don't have access to you. which means I can't call you or go to you if there's a problem. We need to stop idolizing people that we don't have access to. Your role model should be someone you have access to, a teacher, a priest, an officer of your neighborhood, your parents, your family members, someone you have access to. That's what my role models are. My role models are not people I don't have access to. I've never been a person to idolize someone because they have a lot of money. I never been someone who idolized someone because they were talented in whatever they do. Singing, dancing, acting, rapping, playing sports. Those have never been my idols. Those have never been people that I looked up to. I don't have access to you. I can't call you when I'm having a bad day. I can't call you when I'm feeling pressure to do X, Y, Z. I can't call you or turn to you or speak to you when I'm emotionally spent. And that's the problem. We look to these false idols, these false gods, these false entertainers, these people who floss these big flashy things, acting as though that is who they really truly are. Not realizing, not understanding that they're also doing that to get accepted, to be part of the in crowd. If he was quiet, not speaking ill of the dead, I'm just saying, if he was the quiet one, the good one, people say, why are you hanging around bad elements? But to fit in. Or that's your family. Now your family's wearing recipes t-shirts, having fish fries for you. Does it make sense? Are we getting the lesson? Are we getting the lesson? I'm just saying, are we getting the lesson yet, y'all? Have we gotten the lesson? Or are we going to have more fish fries and visuals for these athletes, celebrities, rappers? I'm asking the question. No one's answering the question. Have we gotten the lesson? Or are we going to have more visuals and fish fries? I'm just saying. You have to change who you are, fundamentally who you are, in order for you to survive this world. Because everything we have been told that we see is against us, including us. Once you understand that, once you know that, you move differently. I don't want to be in the know like that. Like Beyonce, we ain't that outside. I don't want to be outside like that where I'm part of everything, every conversation. Have an eye in the sky on everything. I don't want to be, oh, I was there when this happened type of person. I don't care enough. How does it affect my bottom line? How does it affect Food Junkie's bottom line? How is it going to uplift me? How is it going to make me a better person? And if it's not, okay, it's nice to know about it, but yeah, I don't care. And that sounds harsh, that sounds mean, that sounds whatever. But it is that. It is harsh, it is mean, it is whatever. I'm not going to lie to myself to make someone else feel good, to appease a crowd. Don't care. Because at the end of the day, looking in that mirror, who do I see? Do I see a crowd? There are fair weather, which means when everything's going good, you're there to support. When everything's going bad, you're ducking and diving for cover. Or do I see myself? I watched something with Kevin Gates, and Kevin Gates said that. See, I watched a whole bunch of other stuff besides the mess here on YouTube. Well, mess here in the beef sector. I watched a whole bunch of other stuff. I watched something with Kevin Gates. He said when he was locked up, he didn't like how the conditions and stuff were in the prison or the jail, wherever he was. Whatever, depends on how long you're there, depends on where you go. And him and some of the other inmates was talking about it. Let's do something about it. They decided. Let's do something about it. And they decided, okay, let's do something about it. But when the COs, the guards, came out with them rubber bullets, the batons, and that pepper spray, everyone else but 4 people, including himself, went back into their room. Went back into their cells, hovering and stuff on their bunks. He said that showed him that everyone who's talking with you, who's planning with you, won't be with you when push comes to shove. You talk a big game, you talk a good game, you there when we doing the planning and what's not. Y'all remember that word, what's not? And oldie but a goodie, baby. Oldie but a goodie. So you're in with the planning and what's not, but when the rubber hits the road, the majority of you won't be there. So therefore, I have to take the brunt of this. I have to be willing to go the full way. And if I know that if I'm going to do that, what's not, I need to be ready to go there alone at times. Or not with as many as I started with. Because they're going to bail out. You see how all these stories are coming together? The lesson is the only person that you can truly depend on is yourself. So therefore you have to save yourself. You can't be a revolutionary if you're not willing to start a revolution. You can't expect different if you don't do different. You can't take everyone with you. You can't save everyone. Some people don't want to be saved. Some people don't want to be saved. When you're on your journey of elevation, people are going to fall off because not everyone is meant to elevate with you. It's up to you to recognize and realize who is truly there for you, because anyone who's going to allow me to be in an environment that is dangerous, life-threatening, and harmful to me while I'm elevating, you're not there for me. You're there for the clout. You're there for the eyeballs. You're there to say, oh, I was there when this happened. Oh, I know XYZ. And like I said, my condolences out to Takeoff and his family. My heart goes out. Another black young life. When he was 28, so he was not like that young, but younger than me. But another black young man gone too soon over some bullshit, regardless of what the consequences and circumstances were. People pulling out guns because they can't fight. People pulling out guns because They don't know how to walk away, or when to walk away, or when to just shut up and be quiet. You want to prove that you're a man. You want to prove that you're bad. You want to prove that you're gangster. How did that work out for you? It didn't work out for Takeoff. It didn't work out, you know what I'm saying, for the people who's going to miss him and love him, truly. Because do stupid decisions. Being around people who make stupid decisions, being around people who make dumb decisions. Have we learned the lesson yet? Have we learned the lesson yet? Have we learned it? We got to be in the hottest chats, the biggest poppingest chats with the most drama going on. But yet we're screaming, oh, I don't want no drama around me. Huh? How can you want no drama around you when you support, your biggest support goes out to people who makes the most drama? I'm confused. It doesn't make sense. It's hypocrisy. You're talking out both sides of your neck. You don't want drama around you, but yet you're around people who create the most drama. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. Nothing you can say will make it make sense as long as your behavior hasn't changed. As long as you're doing the same thing you've been doing, because you put a different package over it, a different bow on it, a different hair tie in it, it doesn't change the fact that you are the same person. You haven't elevated anywhere. Because you show me the same shit you always showed me. You're a signed artist, making millions of dollars, buying $100,000 gifts, buying Lambo trucks and Lambo this and this and that and da da da. Giving refrigerators full of money. Iced out, just frozen. But yet you're in the hood playing dice in a bowling alley in some dark corner. Like that's your life. Because you still want to stay attached. You still want to stay attached. You still want to have a foothold in that old life. You're not who you used to be. You've changed. You've elevated, at least physically. Now elevate mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Walk within the purpose in which you were meant to walk. I'm just saying, y'all. If y'all don't mind, like the video, please. It's not a bunch of cussing out and talking about people that is on here. I don't care. That's like, ugh. That's like sickening to me. Like, yeah, I done it. I've done it, yes. My commentary was about people on here. I've done it before, yes. But y'all realize in the past several months, I don't do that. I try to bring parallels to what's going on here, since that's what everyone chooses to be worried about, what's going on this little YouTube, and bring it to what's going on in the real world. I've said this from the very beginning. This little sector of YouTube is a microcosm of what's happening in the real world. I've always seen that. I've always realized that. I always understood that. What's going on in this little sector of YouTube, because it's very small, it really truly is, compared to the whole scheme of things, is a microcosm of what's happening in the real world. If you choose to see it, if you choose to look at it, if you choose to understand it. There are so many parallels with everything happening in the real world. I could bring a parallel to what's happening here on YouTube. People like, and to really bottom line and to spell out for you what's not, what happened with Takeoff, wrong place, wrong time, he suffers the consequence. How to bring that into this YouTube thing, wrong place, wrong time, you in a chat, talking mess, enjoying the commentary, what's that? Someone gets offended based on what you did, now they're cussing you out. No, then that your life haven't been taken. But how many times have we seen people say, "Oh, I was just in the chat," and next thing you know, they're the topic of discussion. They're being cussed out. They're being discussed. They're being drugged across these YouTube streets. Parallel. Wrong place, wrong environment. Doing too much. You don't have to. Because you want to be seen in the place. You want to be seen in the spot. And now your name's been dragged across these YouTube streets. Now you being ostracized, at least as much as possible here on YouTube, with avatars and people behind black screens and things. But you no longer can go where you want to go. People using you as a deflection and a distraction. Because they can deal with what they need to deal with. Parallel. You know what I'm saying? It's not about, you know what I'm saying, being everyone's friend. It's not for me. While I love everybody, I don't fuck with everybody. I love myself more than I love anybody. And I understand how I can love you from a distance. I can support you from a distance. I'm not going to jeopardize who I am, what I have, because I want to be seen in the place. I want to be seen as someone who is in the know. Why would I want to be seen as someone who's in the know by people that I think has not elevated to where I'm at yet? Not saying anyone is beneath me, but I'm saying mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you're beneath me. So I'm not going to try to appease you or please you. If I don't like what you're doing, if I don't like what you represent, I don't like what you're giving off, why would I try to make you like me or accept me? Sounds arrogant, sounds like an asshole. I told y'all from the beginning, I'm that. I'm an asshole. But I'm just the type of asshole that you know what I'm saying, is cool. I'm not putting out nasty, ugly energy. I'm just telling you what it is that I do for myself that works for me, that have worked for me. And I told you, not everyone's going to like it. But being in places where you shouldn't be have consequences. Being around people that you know that are no good for you, that doesn't elevate you, that keeps you stagnant, is not good for you. And there are consequences. That's the lesson. That's the lesson. Making the right decisions, making the right choices in life. Making the wrong choices in life, there's consequences. And we're seeing it more and more often. There are consequences for what we do, good and bad. It's up to us to make sure that we are trying to live the best we possibly can live. That's the lesson. Just because people elevate financially don't mean that you elevate mentally and emotionally and spiritually or socially. Sometimes you need to leave people behind. You leave people where they are. Because if not, it can cost you your life, it cost you everything. What's the statement that people use on here all the time? People who don't have anything will cost you everything. Message. People who don't have anything will cost you everything. Message. I love you guys. I really do. I want y'all to be safe. I want y'all to be happy. I want y'all to be content in who you are. You know what I'm saying? But always strive for more. Always strive for better. Always strive to be your best. It's okay to be okay with who you are in the moment. But don't stay there. Always strive to be something more. Always strive to be better. Always strive to be more educated. And not saying educated as far as a degree, but learning stuff, learning from people. You don't have to read all the time. Reading is also really good. But when you listen to people, well, it's not. Try to get the message. Try to get the lesson. Try to take something away. Try to learn something. Try to elevate the way you think. Try to um, change how you disseminate information that you take in. When you listen to something, well, it's not. Entertainment is fine, but try to get a lesson from it. Try to learn something from it. Everything that we experience in life, we should always be seeking knowledge. We should always be seeking understanding. We should always be seeking comprehension. We should always be trying to seek something from that. Always. It's never just about the surface. It's always something that we can learn from everything that we experience. Everything, the good, the bad, and the indifferent. I just hope y'all are getting these lessons that's being taught. I know I'm getting them. I'm seeing the lessons. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully receiving the blessings. Love you guys. It's your boy Food Junkie. As always, it's not important that I love you guys. It's important that you love yourself. You love someone else. You respect yourself. And you definitely respect someone else. Now, that's the message as well. Love y'all. Once again, y'all have a great day. Hope y'all are enjoying yourselves. Until next time, this is your boy, Food Junkie, and I'm out. Peace.